dryer goes out. It'd be great. So I figured, well, why not? Let's get the video camera rolling, and I'll take you through how I'm going to troubleshoot this dryer, figure out what's going on, and get it fixed. Well, to get started here, we're going to start with the two things that we do need to disconnect first, and that's the electricity and the gas. So obviously you can see in the center here is my gas line coming in. I'm going to turn this valve off, and then I'm actually going to disconnect the piping at this point. Some of you will need to do that, some of you won't. I do, just because I want to pull this away and give myself some space to work. So I'm going to disconnect that, and then I'm going to take the outlet out of the wall over here. So we're going to first do this so we don't forget this. Okay, that's off. And we're going to go over here and we're going to unplug. Okay, so those two things are done. Now we're going to walk over here, and from the back side, we're also going to just pull off this dryer vent. Okay. Okay, to take these gas pipes off, I got 2 wrenches. Now I'm going to take off the bottom one here. You can smell a little bit of gas when you're doing this. It's not enough to do anything. We will need to reseal this pipe and do a check for leaks after the fact. So to spare you some pain of watching this, I took off this back panel. There were just a whole bunch of 1/4-inch sheet metal screws. So took that off, and what you can see here then is a lot of the components. One thing I see here is a thermal fuse. That's a super easy one to check, and we're going to check that first. This didn't look really full of lint or anything, but I will probably have one of my kids with little hands put their hand up there and just make sure it's not plugged up down here. And then if we need to, we'll start checking other things. Hopefully it's just a fuse. If it's not the fuse, we'll probably go up and check everything else just individually and see where we end up. To remove the fuse, we just pull off the 2 wires. They're both just a continuity fuse, so there's either a path through this fuse or not. Doesn't matter which wire goes where, so you don't need to remember that. Then we got another 1/4-inch sheet metal screw here. Just going to pop that off. Got it in the pile of screws, and then we're going to pull this fuse out. You'll notice that the fuse has this little lip on it, and that's when you put it back in. You put that in first, it catches the sheet metal and makes it sit flush and captures it in there. So let's check this thing out. So if you watch my videos, you've seen this multimeter a lot. Multimeter is a critical tool to have for anybody. So I have this fuse, and to check fuses, really any fuse, you just want to, all it's doing is creating an electrical path from this post to this post. And it's the same as if I touch these 2 prongs together, you'll hear it beep. And that means we'd have a good fuse if we got that sound. So let's try this thing. Okay, well, great. It's good news for me, because this thing's blowing. I'll have to buy a new one of these, put it in, and hopefully that's my problem on my dryer. Maybe not so good for YouTube folks, because you won't get to see as many potential opportunities for failure. We'll see how it goes. So I'm going to replace this. Now we've established that our fuse is bad, but I also want to make sure that it doesn't happen again. So I'm going to clean out this dryer vent. And I have some insulation stuffed in here right now because it's winter time, and there's a bunch of cold air blowing down here. But what I'm going to do is actually take this, lay it out, and show you a little bit here what we're going to do. Leaf blower, okay? Electric leaf blower is pretty neat. Put it in there and blow it. Okay, so that takes care of the dryer vent piping. Very clean. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here, see if I can get you a better view. And I'm going to blow into this duct. Now I took the vent filter out of the top here, and I'm going to blow into this duct and pull it backwards. I don't know if you picked that up, but there was an incredible amount of debris that came out of there. It would have been out at the top of the screen and towards the water heater back there. So I'll have to clean that up with a vacuum. It's going to be great. And I'm going to do it also from this side. Alright, so we're a couple of days later now, and I got this 3-pack of thermal fuses off of Amazon. I'll put some links in the description to these. They come as a 1 or a 3-pack. Well, the 3-pack was like $1 more than the 1, so I figured why not have a couple spares. Worst case scenario, I wasted $1. But we're gonna grab one of these new ones and test it with the multimeter. We won't want to put a bad one in there because you never know. Sometimes you get bad stuff even though it's new. So again, we're going to put this on our continuity setting here. And there we go. So that one's a good one. I'm going to put that in, and hopefully we're going to get some clothes drying action. And again, these wires can go either way. It's just continuity. It's either connected or it's not. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to plug this in electrically. The gas isn't going to be on yet. And then I'm going to go around to the front and see if the igniter starts, because before the igniter wouldn't even go on. So if we go and start this thing and the igniter goes on, we should be able to see if this is the only thing wrong. Now on the front of this dryer, there's a hole. You can look in there to see the gas flame and igniter going on. So I'm going to turn this on up on the dryer control panel, put it on high heavy heat, and we're going to start this thing. And I'm going to look in here. And now the igniter goes on. And hopefully I can show you, get this out of here, I can show you, see that igniter going on in there? That's what you want to see. Before it wasn't doing that. So now I can put this thing back together, get the gas hooked up, and we're ready to go. Okay, let's put this thing back together. We've got the back panel here, and we're going to just fish this gas line underneath there. I don't want to bend that too much. Get this on, line it up with the holes. There it goes. Okay. Starter screw in there. Now the next step here is reconnecting this gas line. And like I said, I'll show you how to make sure it's not leaking. What I want to do is tighten this back up with my wrenches. And then I'm going to make a solution of dish soap and about 50% water. Just in a little cup. And then I'll put that around this and we'll watch it. And we just look for bubbles. It's as simple as that. If there's any bubbles, you have to tighten it more. If there's no bubbles, we're good to go. So get that nice and tight. Now, if you have the right size regular wrench, it's probably better to use that than a crescent wrench, just because crescent wrenches don't tend to have the tightest tolerances, but we'll work with that. So I will go get some soap and some water and show you the leak test. For the leak test here, I use these medicine cups that you get with any medicine. And I got a little bit extra water in there. I got some water in there already. I got about 5 milliliters of water in here. And then I'll add another 5 or so of soap. Bring it up to 10 milliliters. That gives it a little bit of thickness. Not too much, but it'll bubble real easily. Okay? I'll stir that up with a little paintbrush. You don't want to stir it so it's creating bubbles in this. You just want to stir it to get it mixed. Okay? You don't want any foam in there. Just go slow. Okay? And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn on my gas. And I'm going to put this on there. And if there's any tiny bubbles popping up anywhere on here, you're going to see them. I don't see any. And you want to go all the way around. Really look at it well. Just make sure none up here. So I'll watch this for probably 5 minutes. I'll come back. If there's any little bubbles you just see slowly building, you can catch that. If not, you're good to go. Like I said, if you do see some bubbles, you got to tighten it up some more. So this is a 20-year-old dryer, and we're going to test it out now after this repair. I really encourage you guys to do these things. You pay a lot of money for somebody to do this, and really it's not that hard. Had I had all the parts in hand, it would have probably taken me less than an hour really to do this. The real time was just setting everything up and getting it out from the wall and that kind of thing, but it's not a hard job. If you've got a multimeter, you can do this very easily. So let's turn this thing on, see if we get fire. And there it goes. I heard it turn on. Hopefully you did too. And I can feel the heat. So, hopefully this helped you out. If it did, please like and subscribe. I'd appreciate it. Take care. Good luck.